Happy Friday, everybody. Another beautiful day here in Southern California. Another beautiful show here at LEARNin San Diego Live. Welcome. We're going to be talking about Coronado, one of my most favorite cities in the entire world. I'm super excited about it. My name is Chris Astelero with Exchange Resources.
Talking nothing but luxury. This is Nicole Turner from Cell State and Next Gen Realty. Welcome to LEARNin San Diego Live.
Nicole.
Dancing for Tracy.
Martin, Eris, so great to see everybody.
Eris on the road.
What are you doing?
I had to do a little dancing. That music always gets me and Tracy dancing, and she's not here today, so I'm just going to dance for her.
Oh my gosh, great to see everybody. Another beautiful day. Eris is looking sharp with his sharp sunglasses. It's too bright out there, and I know that he's headed to his appointment, which is great. Martin, great to have you again on the show, as always. And Nicole, the host with the most, and, Cell State Realty, it's so great to have you guys here. I mean, without you guys, we wouldn't have a show. So I'm super excited to kick off the first segment of our show and get into it with our LEARNin Local News. All right, everybody, before we get into it with our LEARNin Local News, let's thank our sponsor. Bernardo, we've been around for over 26 years and we've done over 60,000 tax deferred exchanges. If you don't do a 1031 tax deferred exchange, you could be faced with about 30 to 40% in taxes, right? Wouldn't you rather roll that over into the next property so that you can buy more with it? Well, we're here to give you your options. Let's talk. Thank you again, Exchange Resources. And you only need one exchange company for the entire United States because we do all 50 states. Talking about today's news, the reason why we bring our subject market educators here is because we want to get their take on what's going on with the U.S. housing affordability. The crisis worsens. So let's talk about that. The food prices, gas prices have gone up. Real estate has gone up. In leaps and bounds, especially here in Southern California, especially here in San Diego, and a lot of wages that are not really keeping up with the prices. And people think that they can't afford it. So they have to change their mentality and figure out a way with their trusted and knowledgeable experts in real estate, just like you all, to guide them through this strategy. What's going on out there? What can they do to change that mentality and really get out there and focus in on trying to get entry into that market and strategize with your help?
Well, I think the biggest word that you just said that's so on point is the word strategy. We are wrapping strategy around so many people that come for our assistance here at Cell State Next Gen Realty, and truly a lot of stinking thinking. I love to tell people that. People walk into this office and think one thing and they leave just lighter. They realize there's hope. We do a lot of hope through housing empowerment sessions, I call them, and things like that we can just influence our community because there's a lot of space. And here's the reality. In today's world, you're going to spend no matter what for housing. Housing is the one cost that never goes away. And I think that's why it drives the biggest stress. But you guys, the housing market in our rental market, there's no relief there either. I was having a conversation with somebody the other day and they were just like, oh my gosh, it's $3,700 to rent a 2-bedroom house. Let's look at the buying option again, right? And now we're back into looking at that pre-approval situation for that person. But truly, here's reality. You're going to always be spending. And the question is, who are you spending towards? Because when you're in a rental, you're spending buying somebody else's home. Or you're just getting them cash flow if they've already paid off that home, having that as a long enough investment. Or opposite side of that pendulum, you're going to be spending towards yourself. And one thing I like to tell my clients, because a lot of people get scared in this space and a lot of anxiety in our world, with our world, just economics. And right now, to me, it's like elementary economics that are going on. And when you look at future, right? What's going to really screw that up are life events causing you to have to move that you couldn't predict anyways. What else? Economic catastrophe, something like 9/11, where we were attacked here on our own country, which took us over 10 years to recover from. Or also government interference. So I would bring us back to like the short sale years, where it sometimes took up to 2 years or even longer to sell your home. That's if the bank approved your sale of your home, right? But those kind of triggers that are ahead in your world as a possibility, don't let that stop you from what you're doing today, because right there is where you're in insanity. And that's where we all work, especially right here on the screen. These are individuals that are out there empowering people with great knowledge, not just trying to close a deal, but literally trying to walk people into smart spending to be able to get them to good places 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 30 years from now. Chris, you too, you have all the knowledge in the world with your 1031 exchange world.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no, very well said. One big thing I took away from that is the strategy. Like you were saying, like people who think they can't get approved for a loan right now because of their credit being too low or not where they need to be with income. They have so many strategies that I know people like Aris and Nicole could help you find. And there's solutions around that. There's different loan products for you. But the other thing you can do is don't be afraid to keep renting while you're improving your circumstance in life, either improving your income or downsizing your house, moving away from the coast, more inland, and just collecting money, fixing your credit score to finally be able to be a homeowner and get away from all the rental madness and actually like put that money into something that you can take out later instead of just paying somebody, like Nicole was saying, their cash flow and just making the money work for you. So what do you think, John or Aris? Mr. Carlsbad.
Yeah, you guys all make you guys all make excellent points. And yeah, there's so many things that go into it, but I think there's so many misconceptions out there too. Like Nicole is saying as well, people just don't know what they don't know. And, what we do, all of us, for a living is we help people move money and make some of the biggest financial decisions that they're going to make in their lives and set them up for success. That's our job. So it's our job to know what these programs are. You can get down payment assistance, even if you don't have money saved for a down payment. We can buy down the interest rate. There's a lot of things that we can do. So the best thing that we can do with you is to have a consultation and see what your options are so that we can, see what the best choices are for you and set you up for success despite, what's going on in the market. And the fact is, what the article mentions is we have a shortage of housing supply, especially here in California. I think everybody knows that, but it's kind of hard to understand. What does that actually mean? And if you're one of those folks that's waiting for it to be a buyer's market, but you have the ability to make a decision now that could change, your future, I would encourage you to at least have conversations with experts like anyone on this show, because sometimes waiting can actually cost you a lot more than if you have the means to do something now. Especially, there's some properties that are sitting on the market. You could have an advantageous situation. So always see what your options are and really have that information so that you can make that decision. And set yourself up for success.
That's great, guys. Great feedback. And I think what Nicole was saying is from a 1031 exchange perspective. Now, for people who are looking to buy as a primary residence, there's a lot of value adds that a lot of these realtors know about where, there might be properties that they can find where there's already an ADU, or they can add an ADU later so that they can produce income so that they can offset that mortgage. With investors, obviously the prices of properties have escalated here in San Diego, and you have to put significantly more down, and even to cash flow or break even. But if you find and you talk to Martin and Nicole and Aris here, they can find properties for you with maybe value add, maybe a duplex or a triplex, or maybe later on adding an ADU so that you can increase your income. And at that point, once you're into this market, the prices will go up. You'll have a good gain that you can utilize for an exchange so that you can roll that into other properties, maybe in another state, because we've seen significant gains here in San Diego, and a lot of investors need to take advantage of that and buy maybe 1, 2, or 3 more properties. But thank you all so much for your feedback on the news. That was all great insight. So let's get into what is LEARNin Local Live. LEARNin Local Live, we are a community. We are a live podcast, and we're here to educate, empower, and inspire our viewers, realtors, appraisers, inspectors, contractors, to come together and build this community with us so that we can provide the knowledge to our viewers to make an educated decision, the right decision in real estate, so that you don't wind up making costly mistakes. And how do we do it? We connect, we collaborate, and we create content with all of our subject market educators, and we bring them here live so that you can actually reach out to them so that you can get the guidance that you need in order to make the wisest, the smartest, and most financially beneficial decision for you, your family, and create a legacy for them. So with that in mind, let's get into the next segment of our show and kick it off and meet our subject market educators. And before we get started, let's thank our sponsor.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rafael Davis, aka the Black Belt Mortgage Pro. The Black Belt Mortgage Pro is here to help you in all your investment needs. All throughout the country, I'm able to get you an investment loan in 42 of the 50 states. That's what we're about. I primarily work with investors, and I found that investors, no matter what's happening in the market, whether it's up or down, investors are always looking for deals. If you need capital for your investment, I am the person to call. Reach out to me, contact me, and I'll have you covered. And just like my name, the Black Belt Mortgage Pro, I have to have an answer, just like a black belt in martial arts has to have an answer.
Thank you, Rafael Davis with Black Belt Mortgage Pro. These commercials keep getting better and better. Should we be afraid of AI or should we not? Because it's actually helping us to create a better show and doing things for us to make things better. Martin, Nicole, Eris, great to have you on the show today. I'm super excited about today's show and super glad to see all of you. How are you all doing today?
It's sunny. It's beautiful. It was supposed to rain this weekend, and once again, it's gone.
Fantastic. Well, this is going to be great for your event over in La Mesa with the event that you're going to have. So it's going to be a beautiful day.
Yes, definitely.
Eris, where are you headed to?
Just getting back from an inspection in Oceanside, so had to go deal with that this morning.
Fantastic. Martin, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Padres are on fire, so I'm happy. Business is good, and I get to do the show again every week, so I'm having a blast.
Well, just so you know, we do appreciate you being here with us at LEARNin San Diego Live. Without all of you, we wouldn't have this community and your knowledge, your expertise. Once again, I want to remind the viewers that they can actually reach out to our subject market educators here to get any kind of assistance, whether it be a consultation or, guiding them through the sales process of their first property or their investment property. These are the people right here that you can contact in order to help you with your real estate. And don't be afraid, even with the prices the way they are, there's still a way to get in there. And these knowledgeable realtors have the strategies to be able to do that. So thank you all so much for being on this show. Let's get into it with the next segment of our show and get into it with our LEARNin Local Insights.
You guys, we are heading into the fancy, beautiful island of Coronado. But first, before we go that far, let's thank our sponsor.
Protection that puts you first. Your home and your family deserve security, stability, and peace of mind. For every mile, every moment, every memory in motion. Because every drive deserves to get you home safely. Comprehensive solutions that safeguard your operations, assets, and future. Farmers Insurance, because your life deserves protection that truly matters.
Thank you again to Farmers Insurance and Patrick Ono and his team. You guys, that map, if you saw it right when we began, Coronado, this is 32 miles of absolute spoiling yourself here in San Diego. To me, this is like the fun of the fun of the fun. I don't know what it is about even driving across the Coronado Bridge, but it's like as you drive across the bridge, you feel like you're getting away further than even Catalina Island. But we're going to get into the quality of life here and talk a lot about what happens there on the island of Coronado. I know the beach is there, right? That's nothing, no surprise to any of us. But also some of the best places that you can have to eat. We talked about, on the island, there's not any of the commercialism really. There's a lot of mom and pop shops, walkability, convenience, safety, community there. You have family-friendly living. There's a lot of walkability on this island. So if you don't want a car, you don't want to drive, you can walk the island. A lot of people just have their bike. And truly, that quality of life, I think, continues to let Coronado shine and shine and shine. As a little kid, I remember back when the Coronado Bridge was born in 78. And I remember there was a time that they even shut down the bridge back when I was just a little kid. And they let everybody ride their bikes over the bridge because it was like built in 1968, I believe. It opened in 69. But it was a big deal. And to me, it's still a huge deal here in San Diego County. Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely love Coronado. It's one of my favorite places to go to if I just want to unwind and relax. I can either rent a bike or bring my own electric bike out there, and I go all along the island and just ride my bike and just take in the sun. Lowe's is out there. I like to go to that resort every once in a while, do a day pass. But for me, the Del Coronado is really, where it's at. I love going there, going by the pool and just having time with my family, looking out at the ocean. Across the street is the Coronado Beach Resort, which I normally stay at. It's actually one of the timeshares there that it's in Coronado and a great place to stay. It's got such a great vibe. Whenever I go over that bridge, I feel like I'm going into just a completely different vibe, a completely different city. And I feel so great being there. My energy level is up. It's just a fabulous place to go to. A lot of restaurants, a lot of bars out there, a lot of really great things to do. There's boat rides all along the island that you can go to. There's just a lot of water activities that you can actually get involved with. So just a great place to get away for the day. That's probably why we see a lot of traffic coming in on the 5 from Orange County and LA coming in to San Diego on a Friday because they want to enjoy San Diego, especially Coronado.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my big thing is I personally hate taking the drive over because of the bridge. I hate heights, right? And then going over that bridge, I just freak out. But when you do get on there, like Chris was saying, there's so much to do with the beach-focused town. There's biking, sailing, 15 miles of just trails. Just like you said, rent a bike, bring one in your car, and just enjoy going up and down the neighborhoods. And the population, it's a lot of younger people, especially because of the military. But you're going to see a lot of affluent people, retirees, 40 plus over there. And there's a big 65 plus community there. So it's a great place to retire. And obviously, you guys know about the area. It's beautiful. So just head out to one of the Hiltons or something there. It's great to spend your weekend.
Absolutely. You guys said it. It is one of the premier destinations in all of San Diego. So many fun activities to do, and there's no shortage of fun beaches to go to, hiking, and then all the restaurants there. I don't know if it's still there, but one of my favorite Chinese restaurants was on Coronado, and man, talk about great food. You can't beat it.
No, definitely. And I think I'm so sorry, Martin. Truly, I used to be that girl too, deathly afraid of that bridge driving across it. But now I think as you drive across it, the view is so beautiful on the other side. And it just reminds me like island time. Nice. And it's so funny because it's like 3 minutes across the bridge, right? But once you get there, it's kind of like visiting Maui or kind of when you visit Catalina. You're able to be local here and really just get to a place that life really slows down if you want it to. and it's just a great place. Let's get into those market trends, because I think there's some real misnomers in the costs of Coronado, or where people might even shove it out of their brain going like, there's no way I'm going to be able to live in a place like that. You guys look at your median home price though at 2.19 million. It is very hard to find a home so close to water at that price. And right here at this area, one of the favorite things that I love to do is sit at the harbor and watch what goes in and out. You have so much activity. It's like water sports every single day with the boats, with the carriers that go in and out as they come home from being away. There's just amazing things that happen. Look at your price change. Your market time really sits pretty average. Your median home price backed up by financing at 2.19. Your average home value, when we put cash into play, at 2.5 million, and a negative 21% drop in price year over year, which is still a place to spend money. Months of inventory at 6.5 months, I don't look at that as anything negative. Again, it's a higher price point, so my inventory moves a little slower. Your median rent price at, I believe your rent is $7,500. So if you're going to move there and you're renting at $7,500, let's definitely talk that purchase, because that's a lot of money you're throwing away in 12 months, over almost $100,000 that you just flushed in a toilet. You guys, were you surprised to see 2.19 for the island?
Oh yeah, it's a very, very pricey price point. A lot of people, it's the main like factor that like prevents access for them. But again, it's like for more of the retiree 65 plus or the more affluent community, this is a great place to retire. It's basically, in my opinion, a better La Jolla. I'm not a La Jolla hater, but overall, it's just amazing. Like you were saying, there is a big shortage of new builds. I think in 2025, there's only like 30 something new builds. But as of like 2 years ago, they're really pushing to have like, I think it's like almost 1,000 new like housing over the next couple of years. So that's really big for the development eventually. But Chris, what do you think?
Yeah, no, I just think that the price point, I was really surprised to see the price point at around 2 million. For a lot of families who want to get into Coronado, maybe this is not their second or third home. Maybe it's their fourth home. Maybe they've been living in other parts of San Diego where they've been upgrading. But really look into Coronado, because this is such a fabulous community with low crime rate, virtually no crime. Okay, and it's just such a great opportunity to get into this price point. I mean, it's unbelievable, really. I mean, with maybe for people who are looking at investment properties as well, this might be a great way to get into it, increase the value, and then maybe do a 1031 exchange at a later time. There are a lot of rentals out there, and for a lot of viewers who are living in Coronado, this might be a great time to do a 1031 and buy other properties with that significant gain that you've had over the last 5, 10, or 15 years. But great price point. If it was me, I would go ahead and buy in Coronado at that price. Eris.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, Chris. I mean, I think, on average, what we see the 10 to 15 year period, just in San Diego, home values, property values tend to, go up significantly, about 50% or so every 10 years. So just imagine, you're buying a $2.1 million property today, but if you hold that property, and we know Coronado is going to go up over time. It's Coronado. 10 years, it's going to be worth 4, right? So I see that. I think there's some nuance in that as well. There's definitely opportunity if you're willing to take on, a property that's maybe not turnkey, as we would say. It might need a little bit of upgrades. I think Martin's going to show us one of those later today. But I've worked with clients recently where we've seen some of those in Coronado, sitting a little longer. And I always tell people, look, it may not be the shiny new thing that you want, but if you're willing to put in a little elbow grease, there's an opportunity for us to negotiate and get you a really good deal to get into Coronado. So a lot of things to consider.
Definitely. I think even in this area, I mean, we do a lot of things off market. We pursue sellers, right? And so there's a lot of talks out there. You never know when a seller needs to sell. They're looking for a certain price. You're getting a great deal. And just like you said, Aris, now you're putting the sweat equity into it right there on the island. These are the homes that people they keep them in families for generations and generations and generations, because over time, they always have a vacation spot. And then also the return is significant holding it. And if I think back to like 2008, 9, 10, 11, there were a lot of people dumping real estate back then in panic and fear. And I know a lot of them regret their moves that they made as we're in 2026 today, because they've seen exactly the opposite of what they feared happen. And I think that's always so important, is to look forward and just understand in real estate is one of those things. Like when I look at a car, when I look at an RV, when I look at quads and all of those different things, they didn't return over time like that house will. Let's get into the economic development, because another fun thing in this island, you have building going on, money being invested, and it's 32 miles, y'all, that's it. And when you watch money being spent at these levels, you know that there is golden sand there to invest in. You have the ferry landing expansion, which is over a $10 million project, expanding the way that we go from the harbor to the ferry landing on Coronado with more commercial development. You also have the Hotel del Coronado that's been under restoration, and it is nearing its ending, of over $550 million that was poured into that project to get it to where it is today. It's a mega hotel. And truly, imagine Coronado's going on right now, where they're literally bringing it to how can we make this a better tourist place to stop? And what can we do to make it, again, that island fun, that vibe? Martin, that vibe is something I know we look for every day in our life, because we run really busy schedules and really busy lives. What's your world when you go to Coronado? What do you like to do there with watching things build and being off market like you are a lot?
Martin, you're on mute.
Muted.
My bad. Look at that. One of the big things I look for, and I know is very prevalent here, is kind of like the surrounding infrastructure around these properties, because everyone wants to come in here. Tourism, it's very big because of the hotels and all that. So one of the big things, you're not really seeing giant developments anymore because of the space, but you are seeing a big influx of, they're really focusing on the infrastructure, the roads, utilities, adding more public stuff like the occasional golf course, and more like eco-friendly projects are kind of the big takers right now in Coronado, versus more like, new hotels, new developments. So
Good point. Aris.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy that the Hotel Del is completing their renovation. It's one of my favorite places to be when I'm in Coronado. My family's gone there for years during the holidays. They have a big ice skating rink, and that's a real piece of California history, the Hotel Del. So glad to see that they're trying to maintain and upgrade the property. But there's a lot of money, as you guys said, going into the area. We're going to get into the ferry landing that they are adding a lot of investment to. So I think that's going to just continue to add to what is an incredible community.
Curious.
Yeah, what I love about it is the infrastructure and the public works. It seems to me that as old as the community is, it's such a beautiful community, and the public works and infrastructure, they're really maintaining the streets, the sewers, the recycling facilities. They're also just working on the golf course, water recycling, just everything that they can do to possibly just maintain the community. There's also the Coronado Case Park, which they're really improving on. They're just trying to maintain it and improve it for everybody, so that everybody's investments continue to go up. And not only that, to maintain the vibe and the identity and the ambiance of this wonderful city. So they're taking a lot of pride, pride of ownership, pride of the city. It's just such a clean, beautiful city. And I love the fact that they're really, really taking care of the maintenance of the city.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. One of the fun cookies here on the island in development is every single home that is on that island that's a single family is unique to its own character, its own build, and its own self. You don't look at tract housing on this island at all. So, Martin, when you mentioned we're going to be building more homes on the island over time, I'm curious if we're going to start seeing changes, because we've seen a lot of changes in San Diego County with what you can and cannot do per APN number. And so I'm really curious forward motion to see if we're going to be in a place of change there too. But the character of the Victorians, the bungalows, the craftsman style, the metro, the modern, there's just so many different fun ways to do and see real estate there. Great place to invest in.
Absolutely. Well, everybody, thank you all so much. Great job, Nicole, on heading the insights. Martin and Eris, thank you so much for your feedback. A lot of our viewers want to see what you're thinking and how you feel about Coronado. And I think we just, talked about everything that there was to talk about in Coronado and what a beautiful place it is to either get your, primary residence or maybe get an investment property. But still, it's a gem. It's one of those beautiful places where, you just want to be. So thank you all so much for your feedback. Looking forward to seeing you all in Coronado, maybe at the Del Coronado, hanging out there by the beach. So
going there on the 4th. It'll be fun.
Right?
Absolutely. We should coordinate that.
That's a great place to be on the 4th.
Absolutely. Especially now with the beach and the weather, it's going to be great. So with that in mind, let's kick off the next segment of our show and get into it with Martin with our LEARNin Local Deals.
Perfect. Thank you, Chris, for that. And again, my favorite part of the segment, the LEARNin Local Deals, where we're going to bring you a real deal in real time. But before we get started, we actually have a quick ad from our sponsor. He's actually here today, but the Mr. Carlsbad. So go ahead and play that. Perfect. Thank you for that, Eris, and thank you to your brother John for putting that together. But for the deal today, we are still in Coronado. I'm actually very excited about this one because it's a very rare opportunity in this area. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 1786 square foot property in Coronado. The big thing about this is it's so cheaply priced per square foot based on what you typically see here. It's currently down to 1,895 from a little bit under 2 mil. And obviously with that, it's a very cosmetic rehab intensive property. But because of where it is, the neighborhood it's in, and obviously the type of people that buy these properties, it's very well kept, very good bones. All the big ticket items are in great shape. You're really just looking at a lot of extensive cosmetic rehab. That being said, the rehab will be similar to almost like a more complete rehab somewhere like in San Diego, Chula Vista, El Cajon, just purely because you want to reach the kind of price point to match the surrounding neighborhood. So you're going to have to go on a more higher end, luxurious finish than you would typically see in other areas. It's a little walkable to the beach. It's not the most, it's more centrally located than on the coast, but it's still an easy bike ride to the beach. And the exterior, the curb appeal, and you can see the backyard from that picture. It's gorgeous. Like, you really don't have to do much. You have your giant palm tree. Those are really expensive to remove, by the way, if you ever see one of those. So make sure you keep that in there, assuming like the city lets it. And a very cheap HOA, only $306, I believe. But yeah, well, what do you guys think?
That's nice. I love the cul-de-sac location. Aris.
Yeah, again, this is in line with what I'm, talking about and seeing in Coronado. Some of these older, homes that might need a little TLC, but some of these end up sitting on the market for a little while. I don't know if this one will, Martin, but that's where we can, find those opportunities, negotiate price, get some seller concessions, and get you into, a AAA market that you wouldn't otherwise be able to get into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Chris, what do you think?
I love it. Oh, Nicole, go ahead.
Your turn.
Or is it me? All right. I love Coronado. I mean, this is such a great price point. I mean, just the location, the size of the yard, and as Martin was saying, it's got some great bones. I mean, you don't really need to do a lot to this to upgrade it, but this is just you're just buying location, and there's never a absolutely perfect home. Just get involved with your realtor, get pre-qualified, find out what you can do as far as getting buy downs, seller concessions, and try to get into this property. Try to get into any of these properties right now, because as Eris and Nicole and Martin were saying, it's just going to continue to escalate. So the strategy right now is just try to figure out the strategy to get into that home. It's a beautiful home. I love this house, the lot, and also the spiral staircase. I love that. So great property.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, location too on the island, being in a cul-de-sac and being everywhere is bikeable. And so never a negative in this type of location. This house I look at and it's like, this isn't even, I mean, you're going to have to gut certain things in this house, but there's so much that I can keep here, including my artificial grass in the back, and just sexy it up, do some flagstone on that patio, or even build out a little deck, make it a really cool outdoor kitchen. The things that we can do in this price point to be able to exude the luxury, truly sometimes in PTA budgets, it doesn't have to be like you're dying in capital and, killing yourself and getting underwater in it. There's a return here. And I love this huge window on the back of this house. The bones inside, it looks like a very workable floor plan where we're not moving walls, we're not moving plumbing, we're not moving the things that are super expensive. And the things that you look like on the outside of this house, it's like this is normal in a beach community. We're right by the water. And so, smart spending there's always needed, but you've got great private, you could have a party back in this backyard. I mean, this is a great backyard.
I love the floor plan, like you were saying. It's just if you look at it, it's the super high vaulted ceilings and just the overall layout. It's super open, and if you really just gut it and just go crazy with the rehab, it's gonna look amazing. Like I have so many ideas for what it could look like, and especially with like all the open space. And there's like a little it's like a second floor, but it's really not. It's just like a tiny open room. It's not even a bedroom. So it's technically a 1-story. You can do so much with it. It would look amazing. The right buyer comes in and just really matches or exceeds the surrounding area. I see no issue with this moving. Really,
hey Martin, quick question for you,
Yes.
Martin. What do you think it's going to cost to do the rehab, to upgrade this place, to today's like modern amenities? What do you think you're looking at?
For this one, easily I would say between 100 and 200K if it was a normal property, but because of the area you're in and because you have to go for that really high end, I could see somebody easily going 200 to 300K on this, especially if they really go up and over the top. If you have a good team and you really are budget friendly, I could see this being done for a little under 200 if you're really, really bare minimum, but easily over 200K. This one's one of those properties where the person just has to go in with the right comps and the right vision to kind of do it. Or if they're a long-term buyer who want this for themselves, they can just go all the way up to 300-400K and just make it exactly what they want. The big thing is the HOA will be the big determiner on how much you can actually do, and if there's any limitations to what you can build, like ADUs or certain specs you can do.
Exactly.
Definitely. I mean, that house in my world is just, let's touch it, let's have fun with it. And even in an owner-occupied position, it may not be the one that the investors want to jump in to flip at this price, right? Mm-hmm. But I'm looking from the owner-occupied world. You buy the house, it'll get financing, no problem. There's nothing restricting me in that house. And then for that owner, the sweat equity position that they can put themselves in on Coronado Island, most people think you can't do that in 2026, but Martin, you just proved you can.
Yeah, and adding the ADU here, it's technically possible, but it'll be hard, especially with the smaller lot, and getting permits and doing anything in this area. It's going to be slower. It's going to be harder, and just make sure everything aligns with the HOA. The HOA is the big limiting factor here for what you can.
Yeah,
do.
Yeah, it really is. You have to ask your HOA to see if they will allow an ADU there. They may be prohibiting that. So that plus the permits as well take a long time to get approved, depending upon, the type of remodel that you want to do. But this is a great property. Eris, what do you think?
Yeah, again, I think there's a lot of value add there. You can't fix location, and you can't fix good bones. I think the property clearly has both of those things. So, it just takes a little elbow grease, and that thing will be, a great home for some family in the future for sure. I have no doubt.
Yep. Or a single guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll get you in there, Chris, if you want to make an offer.
Yeah.
Let's talk after the show, Chris.
Yeah.
That staircase is something that can be a focal point.
Yep.
Huge. And then you work around that, and it just could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, put a little chandelier somewhere. Oh my God.
Yes.
That look amazing.
Yes. Totally.
Okay. Perfect, guys. Well, thank you so much. Eris, Nicole, Martin, it's always great to see these deals happen. And for our viewers who are interested in, writing up an offer or seeing this property, these are the people that you need to contact here on the show, or give us a call, text, or email us, and then we will be happy to connect you with these knowledgeable realtors to be able to get you an offer on either this or many other homes that are available. So thank you all so much for your feedback. This was a great session. Let's get into the next segment of our show and get into it with our LEARNin Local deals. LEARN Local events, sorry.
You guys, there's lots of events to be putting on your calendar. Before we do that, let's first thank our sponsor.
Smart real estate investing starts with the right partner. At HLM Group LLC, we guide investors through every stage, from acquisition to full service management. Whether short, mid, or long-term rentals, we transform properties into high-performing, fully booked spaces. Design, staging, leasing, hospitality. We don't just manage properties, we create experiences that feel like home. Because the best investments deliver more than returns. They become places where life happens and memories begin. HLM Group LLC, own the property, we'll craft the experience.
Thank you to HLM Group. Let's get into those events and see what's coming up, you guys. This Tuesday coming up, mark your calendar. Tuesday from 1 to 2 p.m., we have Lifeline Challenge. That is right here online for you to take a look at. Week 2, we have how to get you financially prepared and approved. That is coming up again Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Week 3, how to find the best deal buying real estate. Right deal, right price, right future. Be there to learn as much as you can on week 3. Week 4, how to analyze your real estate construction options. That's extremely important. I love these subject lines. Being able to know how to do that build and what's going to be best for you, the less risk and the most return. Week 5, how to protect your investment and close your first deal. That is a big deal. Having your strategy in place is important, so mark your calendars for that. Again, Tuesday at 1 o'clock. That is week 5. Week 6, Tuesday at 1 o'clock, how to build your real estate empire via 1031 exchange. One of my favorite conversations. There are so many golden cookies in this space that if you don't know, you're missing out.
That's my wheelhouse.
It is your wheelhouse. You're a wealth of knowledge there. And you guys, tomorrow, Saturday, here in Lakeside at my office, we are doing Boots, Bites, and Rodeo Delights. If you're not ever out in the East County, this is Western Days weekend, and tomorrow is the Lakeside Parade. We'll be going right by our office. We have an after party, a hoedown back here in our parking lot that we're going to be doing some yeehawing in.
That's awesome.
A lot of events to be marking your calendar for. That educational series, The Lifeline, there's a lot there that truly, I say tap in Tuesday at 1. I mean, I even have it on my calendar, and I'm in this business, right? But in our world, it's like just listening to everybody on those 1 to 2 podcasts here. There's so much information that you're like, oh, I forgot about that. That's a great idea. New strategies, new edges, new everything. So one thing we all know about life is they always throw you new.
Yeah. No, these Tuesday shows are amazing because here we kind of are very general about the area. We focus on a location. We talk about a deal. But for these Tuesday shows, we really go in depth on the very specific topic we're talking about. So they're great opportunities. And I learn a lot, especially when it's something like a 1031 or more on construction side, stuff like that, where I don't know all the information, but the local experts come in. So,
Yep. And talking about where we're at as far as affordability, I mean, week 2, going over financing and getting pre-approved, pre-qualified, finding out exactly what you're qualified for and finding out what opportunities there are for buy down rates, and then also talking with these experts to find out, just what properties are out there, so that you can start window shopping. You can start dreaming about that first or second or third house, and really and truly trying to find the right financing for it so that it's affordable. And again, the most important thing is finding entry into the market. It's not always going to be the perfect house, but get in there, get into the game, get into the real estate right now, because it's just going to continue to escalate and go up. Right, Aris?
Absolutely, guys. Absolutely. I love the subjects for the LEARNin Local Lifeline. And like I said, I think that's where we can really dive into the nitty gritty. Getting pre-approved. A lot of people don't realize you can get pre-approved with a minimum 580 credit score, little nuggets like that. And then, there's so much that goes into it. Once you get into the market, and if you've already got real estate assets, please, something that always shocks me is people don't put their properties in a trust. Put your property in a trust, preserve that wealth for your family, the legacy, whomever you want to pass that on to, because you want to avoid probate. No one wants to go there. So, this is a great educational network that we've built with LEARNin Local San Diego, LEARNin Local Lifeline for all of you. And we're here to continue to educate people on how to build wealth for the future.
Good point. I think too, even right now in 2026, I watch a lot of sellers still panicking. Like, what if I can't sell my house? And what if I, but even from the seller side, the conversation is so beautiful. And it wraps around that same word that we were talking about earlier, strategy. And where do you get your strategy? From the knowledge around you. And every house, you guys know this as well. A lot of people will call and they're like, I just need an answer on my house. Well, let me take a look at it, right? Because we have to breathe life into that story. Being there's so much that exists at your home that's going to create a strategy that's going to be good or bad for you. Your timeline that goes into it and different things like that as well. And so even as a seller, I would say, don't stop. There's good moves being made in today's world, and people are capitalizing all around you. It's just our news doesn't talk about the good stuff that happens, except when you're here.
So true.
Yep, absolutely. So any other takeaways, guys? I
mean, Coronado, you guys, I'm going down to downtown after this, and I'm like, I just might have to jump over that bridge for a little long way home. It's just a great place. And I think there was a lot, even in my own world, that I looked at going, gosh, a lot's the same in Coronado, but so much has changed.
Yep. And the weather's getting better. I mean, it's just getting warmer and warmer. And this is just like the perfect weather to go out there to all of the beaches, whether it be Coronado or some of the other places, Del Mar, La Jolla, Carlsbad, Oceanside. I mean, all along the coast. We're so I'm so grateful that I'm living here and that we're in such a beautiful community, beautiful city, and we have all these opportunities. Coronado is still my favorite place. I love it. Thank you all so much for your feedback. And, you guys were great, knowledgeable experts, realtors. Please reach out to these professionals to help guide you through the purchase of your real estate. Get pre-approved right now so that you can find out strategically how you can enter the market. And again, I want to remind our viewers that we're here to connect, to collaborate and create content with our subject market educators and with you all to give you the most vital information to make the best decision in real estate. I want to remind you that please join school, help grow the community, get involved, get the information that you need. We have previous videos on YouTube and YouTube, Facebook, and just other social media, so that you can really educate yourself about what's been going on in the past. So thank you all so much for joining our show. We wanted to say hi to Ruben, who couldn't be here today. We hope you feel better. We're praying for you and your family, and
Ruben.
Feel better.
You're in our thoughts and prayers, and we hope you feel better, you get better, and we look forward to seeing you guys again soon. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you at the next LEARNin Local Live.
Bye.